now hearing that there have been brand new strikes. The United States and Israel have hit at least 30 targets in 10 locations. This is coming from the United States and the UK governments. This is a larger attack. The various ships are involved in the Red Sea region. F-18s, carrier-based F-18s have been involved in this strike. E-18 Growlers have been involved in this strike. More than 24 aircraft are flying off of U.S. aircraft carriers in the region. Some of them are carrying 2,000-pound bombs and Sidewinder air-to-air missiles and precision-guided missiles. They have launched at least 30 targets now. These appear to be, and I'm going to wait for confirmation, I'm going to ask my executive producer, these all appear to be against Houthi targets in Yemen. You've seen in the last 24 hours attacks in Syria and Iraq against Iran-affiliated groups. We are now seeing Yemeni targets now. 30 targets in 10 locations. Again, I'll repeat, these are coming from aircraft carriers in the region and the Red Sea, targeting Houthi rebels in Yemen. F-18s have been involved in this thing. Yesterday, we had B-1 bombers that had flown from Texas. We've now got aircraft carrier-based F-18s and E-18s. They fired more than 24 aircraft have launched and have fired these missiles. We're now looking at 2,000-pound bombs that have been dropped in Yemen. We're looking at Sidewinder air-to-air missiles and precision-guided missiles. This is in addition to, at the beginning of the show, me telling you that there had been attacks earlier this afternoon in Yemen. Those seem to have been part of the ongoing attacks between U.S. forces and Yemeni Houthi forces. This is different. This is part of the larger attack that we saw starting last night. We're going to get more information on this. I want to go to Matt Bradley in Tel Aviv, who is following this very closely with me. Matt, this is a big attack.
Yeah, this is a big attack, and we've been hearing from the Pentagon that there would be continuous attacks. There would be weeks of attacks and reprisal. But, you know, this is part of an effort to continue to attack against these Iranian proxies. But we've been seeing attacks like this, not necessarily to the same degree, but continuous for the last several months. We've actually been seeing attacks against Iranian proxy groups in Iraq and Syria for the past several months as well, and retribution for the attacks that we were seeing almost daily by those groups in Iraq and Syria. This is part of that continuum. This is part of those continuous attacks, this time against the Houthis in Yemen, who have been taking strikes against international shipping, and then also against U.S. destroyers and other naval assets in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden for the past several months as well. So this shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. Again, Ali, the big surprise that's going to be coming here is if the U.S. attacks the Iranian mainland inside Iranian borders or Iranian naval assets in the Red Sea or in the Gulf of Aden or anywhere in that region, in the Strait of Hormuz. So this hasn't yet happened yet. What we're seeing now is an increase in the degree to which we've been seeing reprisal attacks by the United States against those attacks that were done by these proxy groups before. So if we see a real big breakout from that, and that would represent something like attacking the Iranian mainland, then we know that we're in the territory of really ratcheting up the pressure and bringing us further to a region-wide war, which is an eventuality that the U.S. and Iran itself have said they are trying to avoid. And as we know, in any war in the Middle East, the main burden would be carried by the civilians throughout the entire region. Ali.